How has the picture been?
Many times. Since I'm here, I still know I have my routines.
Yeah.
So it's been fun.
There's a lot of energy.
But it's okay, it's just that some beginner, maybe some kind of conversation.
You have that bunch of friends that you talk to. Why you do?
Especially the youngsters.
Yeah. Okay. I'll say that. Don't worry.
Okay.
Right. Are we good to go, Dustin? Alright, hello everyone. My name is Calvin and welcome back to our Facebook Live session here today. Today I'm with Ms. Seetha. She is the plate therapist with the National Cancer Society of Malaysia. And our topic today would be on the new norm journey, how to deal with anxiety. Hello Ms. Seetha. How are you doing today?
I'm okay, thank you. And how about you?
I'm good. It's been well, I suppose. So today the topic that we have today, it's the reason why we are discussing this today is because throughout the movement control order period, we're looking at where we've seen that a lot of people are struggling or have come out and speak about the mental health issues that they've been dealing with. And this session that's going to be run by Ms. Seetha would provide a good insight on how you can cope with anxiety, on what are the signs and symptoms, and of course then how do you cope with it. And this will hopefully be very insightful and help us, especially as we go on and in the midst of this global pandemic. Yep. So onwards to you, Ms.
Thank you, Calvin. Right, so okay, before we start, I would like you to look at this picture, Calvin.
Okay.
And basically, what do you see here?
I see a dinosaur running after a man who's wearing a red tie.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think? And imagine if you were that man over there, and how do you feel inside, or what's happening to your body inside?
I guess I'm just I'm just picturing myself in the Jurassic Park movie. If a dinosaur was running after me, I would definitely be very, very afraid. I'd be terrified for all my.
All right. So basically, this is what we are going through now.
Yeah.
Okay. We can't see. Dinosaur is big, but this virus we can't actually see. But this is how we are feeling.
Yeah.
We are actually running away from it, and like what you said, your body is going through that tightness, and, right? So what we are going through actually right now is on this fight, flight, and freeze mode.
Yeah.
Okay. And what does it mean by this? Okay. What does it mean by this? Is that we are actually going through a tug of war now in our body itself. Okay, because right now, what I want to do is restricted, but what my body is deciding to do is a different thing going on.
Yeah.
So basically, what the body is going through to ensure it's going through the survival mode.
Yeah.
So when it's going through the survival mode, it doesn't have connection already with things or people or anyone.
Yeah.
It's just I need to save myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a mention of freeze as well, between fight, flight, and freeze. I'm just a bit curious as to why do people actually freeze in the event, in the event of some sort of danger? Why is freezing also a possibility?
Okay, if the freezing comes in because we're gonna imagine a scenario. Right now, someone is just jumping on you and holding you tightly like this.
Yeah.
What's happening to you? Just imagine that.
I'm in pain and I can't move.
You are in pain and you can't move. And at that point, what is happening in your mind? The person is just on you. You can't see the face.
Yeah.
So what's happening everywhere? From the mind to the body, what's happening?
I would start shaking.
Okay.
I would start. I'll just. I just become so immobile. I wouldn't be able to do anything but just sit there.
So basically, that's a bit of a freeze mode you're going through.
Yeah.
So, but then later, your body will become even tighter, but because of the weight is down, you will tend to push it up to fight, right?
Yeah.
So that's when into the survival mode.
Okay.
So that's where you actually then fight it off, and then you go on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in the context of the COVID pandemic and how people are dealing with it, how does this then how is this incorporated in the context? As in, when do people experience this?
Because COVID now we can't see the virus.
Yeah.
But they are, according to WHO and all that, it is in air, they say as well, and we can't see it, but we have that fear. That fear is there that we are trying to run away, but sometimes we are running away so we don't feel like we're running away.
Yeah.
So that's actually how it feels actually when it comes to these three Fs. Yeah, you want to fight it, you want to fly it up, and you want to actually freeze it, but you're trying to do that, that's where it's coming. It's just like when you're running away from like a vicious dog chasing you.
Yeah.
You feel like you're running, but sometimes you don't feel like you're running. Right?
Yeah.
So at this point of time in this pandemic, we are in that. That is why this picture is actually showing that.
Yeah.
We are running, but can you see that the space is also a bit close?
Yeah.
So we are not going so far, but we feel we are running away from it.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happens here now to us?
Yeah.
Okay, so we are actually just picture ourselves like an iceberg. What we see on the surface and what we don't see on is what is inside going on. So right now, what's happening inside us, we are actually feeling very confused. We are feeling unsafe. Yeah? Confused because sometimes we don't, let's be honest, sometimes we don't know when the government actually gives us like what to do, when they actually make an announcement, do we go out, do we not go out? Are you actually letting us to do things?
Yeah.
We are confused in that sense. We are not safe because even if we want to go out, whether is it really safe? I need to buy my groceries, but am I going to the supermarket? Is that going to be safe for me?
Yeah.
All this, and feeling worthless because I'm probably at home. I'm not going to work.
Yeah.
Things like that. And especially if the household is a bit on a broken household, you also tend to feel unsafe as well. Unloved, unsafe, and a lot of stuff will be happening. So a lot of this is happening underneath us. And this is actually, because of this, it creates us to behave, to react differently. And how we are reacting differently, we have aggression.
Yeah.
So lately you see a lot of people, they probably, they are in that, when you talk to them, they actually come out in a more aggressive way of answering you back, right?
Yeah.
And then sometimes some of them are so withdrawn that they don't talk. They tend to isolate themselves so much because of even the fear, or maybe I just don't want to talk with anyone. Or they distance, or they become rude to people. Yeah, so these are all happening on the surface level right now.
So the iceberg here, so what I understand is that the iceberg shows that only 20% is on the surface, but also another 80% is in the bottom. And there's a lot of different emotions that you experience, includes being unsafe, feeling worthless, feeling confused, and feeling unloved, which is all different things which I believe could cause or could add on to anxiety, right? So in that sense, how do people identify, for example, if someone were to feel aggression, how do they tell if this is an indicator or if this is indicative of me having an anxiety disorder? How do we tell?
Okay, when you say aggression, let's look at how people respond.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can ask an innocent question of what is there to eat? And then later you see the person answering back with an outburst.
Yeah.
Maybe the tone is a bit high. But all I wanted to know is what is there to eat when I come back home.
Yeah.
Or when I'm home,
Yeah.
But because of you are having that anxiety inside that goes on, it replies back in an outburst.
Okay.
So meaning that you're even treated with that question, even though the person have asked in a proper way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that can be one of the indications.
But that's very interesting. I never actually thought aggression would be I guess an indicator. Apart from a lot of other things as well.
Because what we are going through underneath is not resolved.
Yeah.
So when these are all going through, you're feeling unsafe, worried, everything is going through underneath, what comes up outside will be you're irritated.
Yeah.
Because you don't know. I want to be safe, but I can't. I want to know the proper news, but am I getting the proper news?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all this is going on inside. But when suddenly someone asks me an innocent question, I just pop up and just,
Yeah.
like, and tell you off with the tone that, you'll be thinking like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, this is quite important to look at as well, especially, during the COVID pandemic and a lot of people being asked to stay at home. We've also noticed an increase in domestic abuse cases at home. So a lot of people are not feeling safe at home, and they might experience a lot of these things right now, feeling unsafe, feeling wordless, feeling scared, and it's not necessarily because of the COVID-19 virus itself. And I guess those things could lead to them having anxiety, which is of course a mental health issue. So in this in that perspective, we can say that the issues that people have, including anxiety disorders, do not necessarily stem from the fear of COVID-19 alone, but also the fear of COVID-19's implications, especially in terms of things like domestic abuse. So yeah, that's quite interesting.
And the thinking style actually will change right now.
Yeah.
Okay, especially like now you see our cancer patients, that they initially they had issues traveling from, because they're all from Peninsula, right? And the main treatment is here at HKL.
Yeah.
And for them to drive up to come up here, one is, of course, initially they were not allowed to, but at the same time they also create that they have that fear coming in, that what if I go there now and I'm going to get contracted with COVID. It's not so much of the cancer, but it's more like I'm going to the hospital, but it's that, or sometimes the delayed treatment that the doctors will postpone.
Yeah.
So they will feel like, I'm not getting the treatment, so what's going to happen?
Yeah.
So it's all the what if question comes in, and that what if question comes in will actually make your mind to jump from worry to worry, because it's something that you can't see.
Yeah.
But you're making that you're making the brain to think that this is all going to happen. If I don't get my treatment, I'm going, it's not going to work. I'm not going to survive or something like that. So this is where it comes in, that thinking style will change a lot, because the brain is like basically it's like a Play-Doh.
Yeah.
How you form it, that's how then it will create. So if you think of what if you can't see that certainty, but it's all in your head, that's where the anxiety comes up. It's just like pushing up your work, you're like building up, not knowing what's going to happen, but I build up, then I will actually crumble down. Yeah. So it's just like the iceberg, when everything is happening there underneath, but you're not going to resolve it, you're not going to go to it, up will actually just crumble down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like these thinking styles that you've mentioned, from what I understand is that, a lot of these thinking styles, for example, we often worry about what happens next, or we jump from one worry to another, we expect the worst case scenario. I guess there's to a certain extent why people have these thoughts, or why these are like the thought processes in a lot of people right now, is because, at the beginning of the pandemic, when we looked at Europe and we looked at America, now if we look at America, they've hit over 1 million cases, and we've looked at we've looked at tens and thousands of deaths in Europe. So people are very wary of what could happen if they got infected, and they are very, they are worried about, if that's happening in a modern advanced country, it could happen here. And I think that's exactly why this are now the thought processes for a lot of them.
Yeah.
And so having said that, I was just wondering if avoiding news like this would help completely. Would this aid in having them have more positive thought processes in that sense?
Okay, avoidance is actually, this is in my opinion, avoidance for me, it doesn't help. In fact, it creates more in you, because when you're pushing things aside, you're not resolving it. You're not acknowledging it, right? So when you're pushing it there, you are actually building up. And when this builds up, like, okay, I don't want to hear the news. COVID is not going to attack me because I'm in my own bubble.
Yeah.
I'm just like, basically being, you are just being in denial.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is where avoidance comes in. When you're in denial, you avoid things, thinking nothing's going to happen to you. But actually, with that avoidance, something is happening to you in the body.
Okay.
And when that happens, the thought processes change, actually, because suddenly you will wake up in the middle of the night, and you will actually get that heart beating so fast.
Yeah.
you suddenly like be shivering, sweating, even though some of us we sleep in the aircon room, but then you'll be actually having cold sweats and stuff like that. So that is actually happening in the body when we can actually avoid. Yeah. So that's yeah.
So with all of that, so this obviously are very important things to remember, especially when it comes to dealing with anxiety. So what exactly are the symptoms of anxiety? Like, how do we recognize the symptoms?
One, when the thinking style comes in like this, when you're constantly worried about something that you really can't see beyond what you're seeing now, you would actually have that sense of agitate. You'll feel agitated. Okay, and when you feel agitated, you actually get the feeling of where you will have sweaty palms.
Yeah.
You tend to like shake a lot. You tend to move about. You're basically very restless at the end of the day. And then another one would be that you're feeling very like this comes to kids and all that. They just feel very not safe. They just feel they feel agitated, and then they do things that they tend to show behavior wise that they are not listening to parents and stuff like that. So this comes in too. So what happens is they actually have that, like I said, sweaty palms, shivering. Yeah, they tend to actually you can't sleep. Sometimes you think you're tired, or you are feeling tired. But when it comes to the night where you want to rest, put your head down and rest, you're just not sleeping, and you're thinking like, why I'm so tired. We are experiencing long day. Actually, we are not like I had a long day, but we are having a long day. Even when it's like the night is there, but it's still going on for us in our head. The fatigue comes in. So this is what happens when the thinking started. The processing changes. Okay. The next one would be like the physical symptoms that you see, right? Sometimes you may experience headache, like migraines, or sometimes you'll be having stomach pain. Like those some people can experience irritable bowel syndrome. Where anytime they just feel like they're having diarrhea attack, like constantly and stuff like that. Then sometimes you have the muscle ache coming in. And most of the time we can actually feel that stress pain when we actually have the pain here. The neck, this part of the shoulder, you would really feel that heavy load is on you. Yes, So you feel that heavy load is on that, right? So these are some of the symptoms that we can actually see and know that we're actually having that anxiety inside us.
I think like when you were mentioning difficulty in sleeping, especially although you're really tired, I think for me personally, I've experienced that as well. I think 2 days ago, when I was extremely tired the entire day and I couldn't sleep, and then I just stayed up the entire night and then just came to work the next day, and I guess that took control of me as well. And I just at that point I didn't understand like why am I experiencing this? I'm extremely exhausted, but here I am still not being able to sleep because I had 1,001 thoughts running through my head.
Because your mind is still working.
And that's the thing. I think for a lot of people who are tired and they can't sleep, they don't know how to stop that. And how do we actually stop those thought processes?
There will be some techniques that we can actually do, some grounding techniques that I will be showing in later on. Okay, so these are the symptoms that you can actually see. Okay, the other way is you can rate your anxiety level, and this chart actually you can actually Google it up. You can actually find it online. It will actually show you level by level how you're actually feeling and where you're standing, where you're at. So this is one of the charts that you can see. Okay, so currently what we are doing now in this lockdown for people.
So this I'm assuming these are things that that people would usually resort to when they are trying to cope with anxiety, right? So are these healthy ways of actually are these actually healthy? Or
okay, I would like to ask you, do you think it's healthy?
Definitely not overeating, and I don't see any harm in Netflixing. Okay. And of course I would definitely say that social media is unhealthy because the prevalence of fake news is so rampant right now, and people are just believing what they want to believe, so that's definitely unhealthy. The overindulgence. So basically I think some of these are healthy, some of these are not so healthy.
At this point, what many of us are doing when I do this as well, it's like, watching Netflix and all that. And like what we said, overeating, because we are at home, it's normal. to, like you feel hungry all the time being at home.
Yeah.
But actually that you are not hungry. It's just the mind is telling you to just eat because you're just filling up the time.
Yeah.
Okay, and also like now social media. Although social media is a good place to actually explore, get more information, but currently now it's also going into a place where people are getting fearful because of like what you said about fake news and all that. People are believing in them.
Yeah.
And then they're viraling it and making everybody into, that state of being scared and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing now, and that's why we have actually having a lot of these mental issues arising.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the rest of it, like resting, sleeping and all that, it's fine. But so what else can we do apart from this overindulging ourselves with all this? What else can we do? What else are you doing, apart from Netflixing and all that?
For me, I've actually learned how to build. I'm still learning. I'm in the process of learning how to build a mobile game.
Okay.
Yeah. So but that's not really a coping mechanism. It's just, but that's just me just wondering if a mobile game takes off during this time, I could make a lot of money. But that was just a thought that I had. But while I was in lockdown. But I guess, when we speak about things to cope, there are things that are not within our control, and there are things that are within our control. So, what exactly are some things that are within our control?
Okay, so what else we can do from here, what is within and out, is acknowledging our thoughts, okay, on what is happening right now at this point of time, okay? Because like what earlier we discussed about avoidance, we don't want to avoid this, but we just want to acknowledge it. And we acknowledge it first by knowing what is within my control, what is within your control. Okay? So what is within my control is basically your routine, right? Your routine is similar. I wouldn't say the same, but it's similar.
Yeah.
Okay? Things have changed. A new change is in already. That they are, most likely working from home. So, but at the same time, you're still working.
Yeah.
So when you're still working, you still have that time, that routine. And then you do your exercise. Some of you do your exercise in that routine.
Yeah.
And some of you, like they exercise, some of them are doing jogging out, but they can't do it out right now. So you modify it. So instead of saying that, you be hard-headed to say, I want a good jog, and then you get yourself into trouble out there with the enforcement and stuff, you modify it by doing, different exercise, something like just carrying, just lifting up something lightly. For those who are elderly, just something light that you can lift up and stuff, like how my mother does as well at home because she can't go for walking right now.
Yeah.
So these are the things that you can modify. The word here is modify. You're not changing. It's not really a new change. You're just modifying it and tweaking it. Mm-hmm. So we tweak our routine a bit, but remain with our routine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So also what I'm looking at here is you're saying having balanced diet and exercising as well. Focusing on what's important. I guess at this point people might not have a clear idea or a clear picture of what may be important and what may not be important. So what would usually be important?
Okay, focusing on what is important, it can be subjective. But you look at the necessity within your family right now, focusing on your family.
Yeah.
And at this point, it's actually a given period. It's kind of like a given period for you to actually have more time with your family at home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is one thing that we can actually focus more. So instead of all the time being online and getting news after news, not knowing whether that news is a verified news or something, we spend on spending it with our family, like those with kids, spend more time with the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what, focus on what is the necessity that we have.
Yeah. So for the audience out there, what is within your control? Like for example, seeking outreach support, you don't have to be a professional, to call up a friend, to call up a family member, because there are people out there who live alone. And my parents are back in Pahang, so I'm here with my siblings. So we try, or they call us up every 2 days, and we speak, and we just try to get as much information. Just talk to each other what we've done, what we've cooked, what the new recipes we've learned. And I think these are really good coping mechanisms that's within our control. and also like focusing on having a balanced diet or exercising. It's not easy, especially now with parks being closed and not everyone's got a treadmill at home. But there are resources available online where you can do home workouts, and I think those are also really good options to resort to as well.
So that's why, like I mentioned, so
Yeah.
you tweak it a bit.
Yeah.
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 Don't change the routine, but just tweak it up.
Yeah.
Okay, and what is outside of my control is, of course, the COVID news that we are always listening. So these are news that we also need to know.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we don't take it in too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what the government's decision.
Yeah.
Okay, because that is really out of our league. We can't really change anything. If they just say there's an extension, we extend. We have to compile to that. The state of the healthcare system as well. That of course, like your holidays are being cancelled.
Yeah.
It's understandable. Everybody needs a break. We all need to do. But at this point, this is where it comes in. Focus on what is important.
Yeah.
The holiday we can still do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
Yes. Thank you.
yeah, so I was just going to because like Ms. Seetha was saying, the government decisions, they've just announced like about 20 minutes ago or about an hour ago that they're loosening up the MCO. And what I picked up from the news is that the government stated that they've lost 2.4 billion every day since the start of MCO, and that is a very scary thought to think about, in terms of like economic loss and the loss of jobs. And even as a person who doesn't work for I don't work for the government, I'm not an economist, just looking at the number does trigger sense of insecurity in me, because I'm not sure how that's going to play out for the Malaysian economy and for my job and for just the situation as a whole. So yeah, I totally understand what you're trying to say, and that's beyond my control.
Yeah. That's why we come back here to what is my control now, what is within my control that I can control.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the roadblocks that we've all gone through.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, okay, we've experienced some roadblocks that you really ask you a lot of questions, and some just let you go. So these are still out of our league. We can't do anything, yeah? And comes to work, employers' decision. This it is not in our control.
Yeah.
So these are the things that not to say we push it aside or we don't bother about it. It's just something that I can't control. Because when we put this within my control, this is where we all go haywire.
Yeah.
The anxiety builds up and we don't know anything. It comes to depression and all sorts of things. So just differentiate what is in your control and what is outside of your control.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next one would be anchoring. So now, tell me, what do you see there? From this picture, what do you understand about anchoring?
Well, I see where I see where the term anchoring comes from because of the anchor. But I'm not really sure what the plant is there for and why is there a boat along the plant. Yeah, it's a very confusing picture to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but basically, what is an anchor? What is the function of an anchor?
It holds the ship down so it doesn't sink or it doesn't stray away, I guess.
Yeah, so basically, this is what anchoring is.
Okay.
So when you anchor, okay, you are actually growing. So that's the indication of the tree branches that you see.
Okay.
Yeah, and you still have that line, that lifeline with you.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why the
Okay.
you see. So it's your life. So that's why the next one is anchoring. You need to be anchored down in order to grow. And how do we do that? We can do this by doing the senses. Be aware of your surrounding. Okay. Now, sometimes when we are overwhelmed with our thoughts, right? When our thinking self comes in, we cloud ourselves with a lot of the what if questions and all that we actually don't realize things around us.
Yeah.
So what we can do is the moment you experience that it's coming in and you're already feeling tightness, the body will actually show you. The body will show that you're being tight actually. You're already being very stressed out and the anxiety is coming in.
Yeah.
This is what you do. You just anchor yourself and be aware of your surroundings. So you can actually do things like if you're in the kitchen cooking, you can actually see 5 things that you can see. Name 5 things that you can see.
Yeah.
And those of you who love cooking, probably you will be thinking, oh, I see this, I can add on, I see that, I can add on the 5 things.
Yeah.
And then 4 things that you can hear. So if you're out on your porch or your balcony, you can actually try to hear the birds chirping or, anything. And then 3 things that I can feel. So what you can feel? You can touch your child's hand. So that's connection already. So try to connect with your family members and all by doing that. Then 2 things that I can smell, something that you like. We all have our favorite smell that we like. Be it from a perfume to something that reminds us of something, that makes us be grounded. So you can actually do that. And 1 thing that you taste, something like chocolate. Okay, you know what? I'm feeling tired. When I eat chocolate, it melts down everything.
So does this all of these things? Do we have to actually do it all at the same time? Or is there something that we can do? Different?
No, like while you are doing your work, and then you suddenly feel that like sometimes like to be honest, like for me, sometimes when I do my work and stuff, I do get suddenly that anxiety creeping in. So then I actually will sit back and I try to see, I'll look at my room, what is it, and stuff like that. So it can be any time that you feel like doing it. And what's the best thing about this is that you don't need to have people around you as well. You can do it on your own. So it's something that is also like your self-care time.
And I guess it helps clearing. It helps with clearing up your headspace as well. Right. Because sometimes, as I was saying earlier, I do tend to think about a lot of different things, and I think the ability to just focus on one thing. For example, just after a day, for an entire day of working, I just go out to the balcony and just look outside, and I think that helps.
Yes.
And I guess that's probably one of the things that I see. And when I see the Twin Towers, and I get really sad because I can't go to KLCC, but I guess
that's one of but it's still there.
It's still there. I'll just be able to go down a different day.
Okay, and the next one would be breathing. Okay, breathing this is my opinion, this is one of the best ways to actually be very grounded. Okay, and I can use my breath to reset my body from survival state to safe state. So what does that mean? Okay, there are many different breathing techniques that we can do. There are a lot. Okay, one, if those of you who have kids, you can actually play bubbles with them, blowing bubble, because that is actually like you're inhaling and then so it becomes the very you're exhaling it out, but the bubble and your body actually feels tight. So you can actually play it with your kids as well together. The next one would be, of course, the 4-7-8 breathing technique. Okay, and what is a 4-7-8 breathing technique? Is you breathe in for 4 seconds, okay, and then you hold your breath for 7 seconds, and you let it go slowly for 8 seconds. Okay. And this you can actually do it in the company of your kid. And when you breathe out, you can even make a noise, a sound, like a woo sound or a whoosh sound, just to make it like you're just exhaling out everything. Would you want to try that, Captain?
Yeah, I'll try, but I'll just count in my head.
Yes, of course, sure.
Okay.
And how do you feel?
Definitely a bit more relaxed than before.
And how does your body feel?
I feel like there's there's some release, like in terms of just just like an emptiness just leaving, and I think that's very relaxing.
So that's how it helps, right? You've tried it, so please, the viewers out there, do try it as well. Okay, and so basically,
sorry. So just the breathing activity, right? It says that it has to do at least 3 times. How is it recommended that this is done as many times as possible, or is 3 times the minimum?
Do it even if you want to do it 4 times, it's fine.
Okay.
Feel your body changes. Because sometimes some people within that 1 time itself, they actually feel that there's a bit of lightness. Some of them they feel like by doing 7 times or 8 times, they feel it's light. So it's up to you. There's no time. There's no how many times. There's a fixed timing to that, or how many times you need to do. Right. But one thing is just when you breathe in, when you inhale, make sure that your stomach extends up.
Yeah.
So that's the proper way to breathe actually, because some people when they do breathing techniques, they tend to have their stomach being in. So that's actually, if that happens, that's actually something is happening with the body. The body is still breathing.
Okay.
So if you experience that, viewers, when you breathe in, when you inhale in, and your stomach is actually going in, then you need to do more practice because that means the body is tight. Yeah.
So this part here, you were saying steer around it, melt it, and embrace it. So how do the audience, how do people in general do it? What does this mean?
Okay, what does this mean? Is basically embrace it, meaning acknowledging it. That's how we have mentioned this now.
Yeah.
Right? When you're acknowledging it, you're actually going to embrace it. So when you embrace it, what happens? The body. Why I am referring to the body? Okay, because 60% of communication is through the body.
Yeah.
It's never through here, verbally. Verbally is only 7%.
Yeah.
But the body actually shows more of the communication.
Mm-hmm.
So even like here, verbally you say, I'm fine, your body is not showing that you're fine.
Yeah.
Right? So 70% your body will show it. So when you actually acknowledge and embrace it, your body is already going through that changes. Yeah? And stir around it is like going through within your control.
Yeah.
Knowing the difference between what is in my control and what is outside of my control. Okay? So that is stir around it. And once you do that, you melt it by doing all the techniques that we have. Yeah? These techniques that we have shown here, we have shared with you, is just some of the few. Yeah, but there are many more that we can share more. And if you do feel like you want more information and stuff, do call us. Yeah, get in touch with us, and we will definitely help you and support you and be with you in your journey. Especially those parents who are having kids who's going through their treatment and all that. Please do contact us, as that I could actually be with them and go through their journey with them. Yeah. So with all this, you will be able to ride the tigers inside you.
Oh.
But tigers is actually inside you. Yeah.
It's a very cute picture.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So thank you, Ms. Seetha. That was a very comprehensive and insightful explanation on ways to manage and cope with anxiety. And before we end today, we've got one question from Ms. Pochu. She's one of the viewers on Facebook right now. So her question is, as a cancer survivor and a senior citizen, we're told about the high-risk group. Together with all the news, whether fake or real, and so even if we're so positive, after some time it gets to us. So I guess what she's trying to say, at some point it just gets to you, no matter how positive it may. So how will we be able to fend off all the negativities?
Okay, so this is where, Ms. Pochi, thank you for your question. So this is where you go up here. Come back again here, Ms. Pochi, Madam Pochi. Know what is within your control. So it comes back here, because when you know what is within your control, then even that news that you're getting, that overwhelming news, whether fake or verified news, will still be able to actually put that aside. There will be a line, there will be a boundary. So basically, this is knowing your boundary, where would you actually stand. So as a cancer survivor, as a cancer patient, this is where we need to know where we stand within our control. What is within our control? Because the news out there is all out. But knowing these two ways of doing it then. And one more, of course, do it, the anchoring. The anchoring is, once you know you're within your control, your anchor comes in already. So it's already holding you. All right? So that's I hope it answers the question, Madam Puchi. Yeah? Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Seetha.
Right.
So before we end, do you have a message that you want to give to the audience?
Okay. Thank you so much for your time being with us, and do get in touch with us. We are all here with you. All of us are getting through this together. No one is left behind. Yeah. So please do get in touch with us. And thank you, Calvin. It's been nice to have the discussion with you.
Yeah. Likewise. If you are interested, or if you're looking to, if you have any other further questions which you may not be able to ask right now, you can always call our Cancer Information Service hotline. It's at number 1001 1-800-88-1000. So 1-800-88-1000. Our service, our cancer information service goes back fully active starting next Monday onwards in light of the recent announcement that we will go back into full sessions. So you can call us from Monday to Fridays from 8:30 to 4:30, and we'll be more than happy to take any of your questions. We've got Peter, the paid therapist, we've got a dietitian, we've got a counselor and clinical psychologist all on standby to help you in your journey, whether you're a cancer patient or not, especially in dealing with issues during this COVID-19 pandemic. So thank you, and we look forward to seeing you again next week in our next live session.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.